What if you spent your entire life not just removed from family and friends, but without ever coming into contact with a single member of your species? You might not immediately understand the lack of social connections in your life, but deep in your heart, you would know that something was very wrong. Unfortunately, that's what happened to the young cub in our story who grew up alone inside a cage after being removed from his natural habitat. Not once in his lonely existence did he ever encounter another animal except for his human captors, who were anything but kind. Fortunately, a team of animal rescuers got wind of the 2-year-old bear cub's lonely plight and immediately dispatched a rescue team to the Albanian village where the animal was being held. But upon their arrival, they were absolutely horrified to discover the conditions in which the poor animal was being held. They weren't prepared for just how heartbreaking this rescue would be. The crew arrived at a small village and found the young bear chained to the wall, even though the animal was already locked inside a small dark windowless shed. The space was so small, but the bear could barely move or turn around. Even worse, the animal subsisted on just a barest amount of food and water. And when the bear's heart-wrenching story finally leaked online, the poor creature who rescuers would come to know as Riku was dubbed as Europe's saddest bear. He was in distress and badly neglected. In May 2017, the Four Paws International team finally brought Riku to a Bulgarian bear park for medical treatment, a place where blind, deaf, and injured bears can recover and live in peace, which doubled as an opportunity for the animal to finally meet other members of his own species. Nobody was entirely sure how the animal who spent his whole life in solitary confinement so far would react. Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Since Riku had only lived in solitary confinement and had never seen another bear before, the team was incredibly nervous to introduce them to the others. It took it very slowly and let Riku adjust to his new home. Then Riku began touching noses with another rescued bear through the fence of their separate enclosures. A 22-year-old female named Gabriella who was rescued from a Bulgarian circuit, which is notorious for desperate living conditions and animal abuse, wordlessly bonding over their shared circumstances. When it became clear the two bears would play nicely together, rescuers decided to remove the wire barrier, and thankfully the cameras were rolling. The staff described what happened next as nothing short of magical. It can be very nerve-wracking introducing two bears for the first time, but Riku's and Gabrielle, his meeting was magical. Dancing Bears Animal Rescue Park spokeswoman Jedi Lapaja said, once acquainted, the pair has reportedly not stopped playing with each other. And it struck up a romantic relationship. They never stopped touching one another or playing together. They were and are totally inseparable, the Pasha said. If one of them wanted to swim in the pond, the other would follow. If one of them ate their meal, the other would do the same. As many as 40 brown bears are still held in captivity across Albania, despite monumental efforts by Four Paws. Paul's Thomas Peach, wild animal expert at Four Paws, said, "The large number of bears rescued this year shows that the Albanian Environment Ministry is now actively protecting Albania's bears. We are confident that this positive development will continue. The Environment Ministry will push on with the necessary changes to the law, and that it will begin constructing a suitable bear sanctuary as already announced. Only then can this chapter of Europe's saddest bears finally be closed." Bears already rescued have been given what are described as species-appropriate homes in Germany, Greece, and Italy. Already this year, 16 bears have been liberated by the Albanian authorities as Four Paws campaigns for a better life for the rare and impressive carnivores that are still found in the wild across parts of Europe. Although Albanian laws and international accords are supposed to protect the brown bears, making it illegal to trade or keep them in dreadful conditions, their plight continues. For Riku, the misery has finally come to an end. Riku will be spending Christmas at Tirana Zoo in the Albanian capital while a permanent sanctuary is being sought. There are hopes for a similar facility in Albania. Peach added will be supporting the Albanian Environment Ministry and its construction of the state-run bear sanctuary in Mount National Park, which has already been announced. We'll also be encouraging it to better enforce existing bear protection laws and significantly increase the punishment for violations. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.